Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm joined by Fantasy Football Scout Deputy Editor Tom Freeman, who will be revealing his Gameweek 34 team. He's looking to free hit and he's on the lookout for a differential or two. We take a look at Wolves in particular for that week. Welcome Tom, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Joe. Yeah, we've still got Arsenal and Palace to go when we're recording this tonight, but we're looking ahead to 34, obviously. I think we've both got free hits in play, haven't we? So
Yes.
still in the early stages. It's very much a draft, but we'll have a chat through it and see what info we can get out and how that'll impact us kind of when we come to deciding our teams.
Definitely. So I've done a sort of a free hit or Gameweek 34 sort of best picks video this week and podcast. I was talking to FPL General. He's got his free hit in play as well. But like those videos, and I'll say it again for this one as well, this is for all those. So there's lots of those who are maybe wildcarding, those not using any chips at all, just using transfers. And of course those who are using the free hit chip as well. This is for all of you really, because obviously any free hit picks we're looking at here, they're applicable for you. If you've got one or two transfers to make, they could be the two transfers that you're looking for. And there's a lot of money available, lots of good cheap options this week as well. I don't know about your team, which we put up, but I've got about nearly 7 million in the bank for mine. I can't spend it.
Yeah, I haven't actually even pressed the free hit activate button yet. I've built a drafting plan FPL just because budget won't be an option or an issue this week.
No.
So I haven't felt the need to press it yet. But yeah, it's exactly the same. Obviously, Salah, maybe Palmer in a draft, but that's it for the big hitters, really, isn't it?
So in terms of rank, you're on a small green arrow. I'm on a small red arrow, but with each match day that goes by, it becomes redder and redder for me. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
have a look at your current game week at the moment. So your bench boost is in play, and it's a bench boost for the ages here. 1 point for Verbruggen, 2 for Isak, nothing for Trippier. 1 point for Cucurella. Is that 4 points? Is that
Yeah,
lowest?
it's got to be up there. I mean, the only positive is I didn't have Dan Burn on it to give me a -2.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can look at it. I mean, I think when we spoke last week, I knew the fixtures weren't great. This was a squad built for a 32 bench boost, which I didn't do because of Saka and that uncertainty over minutes. I think the only thing which tipped me towards playing it was that Isak fixture at Villa, and I did think he could genuinely get something from that. I was at the game, and it turns out that it was probably one of the best performances Villa have ever had under Emery. And Isak wasn't in the game, and it's really disappointing. But we'll just kind of move on and get it out the way and try and finish the season strongly.
Well, if there's any consolation, my bench boost I got 12 points in my bench boost in 32, which is in comparison absolutely legendary. that's
pretty good.
That's about the best you could ever hope for. I've seen similar bench boosts well under 10, 6, 4, 5s last week and this week. And I think even a good bench point score this week would have relied on perhaps if someone had got Brian and Bomo in and genuinely they were one of their worst players because they had so many doublers.
Bowen got the goal, didn't he? But again, you could have made a case for him being in the starting 11 probably with that fixture. But we're on 57 points, like you said. We've got 3 Arsenal and 3 Palace tonight. The transfers last week, I did Livramento to Diaz and I did Palmer to Rashford. So that got me 17 points from the 2 who came in. So I mean, it's not a great week, but it's not terrible either. It seems pretty average, 57 at the moment.
You got a green arrow, which is quite something good this week. I just made the one move. I got rid of Asensio for Rodgers, so I'm 5 points up or 4 points up, I think, on that. 4 points, I think. So not much. But
yeah, I was tempted by Rodgers because I knew Rashford would only start one.
Yeah.
But I think given my position, I need to kind of take a few risks now. And I mean, he got the goal, he got the penalty, and he obviously hit the post within the first 20 seconds last night. So it could have been a really big haul. We'll see how he looks after game week 35. He's not going to start every game again, but I still think coming off the bench, Rashford can make an impact. So we'll see.
I mean, it's great for you as a Villa fan, but it must be really annoying as an FPL manager because your team has actually probably got I'm going to say the best squad in the Premier League at the moment. I mean, who else can bring on Asensio, Watkins. I mean,
Yeah, Marlon came on as well last night, and there's real depth, but it creates problems. I mean, Watkins probably going to start the FA Cup semi-final on Saturday, so I was confident about Rashford last night. Going forward, it's just going to be about taking it game by game, and that's the same with Asensio as well.
Yeah.
So I may have to look at one of those players in game week 35, but for now, I can forget about this team and focus on the free hit.
Yeah, definitely. Rodgers and Tielemans still look like the best ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely, completely nailed.
Okay, let's go with your free hit draft so far. Do you want to run us through it, and then we're going to look at Wolves, because you've got a Wolves player in here that I have not seen in a single draft yet.
Yeah, okay. So we'll run through the team, and it is very much a first draft at the moment, but so we'll see how that develops. But for now, I've got Alisson in goal. At home against Tottenham, I've got Livramento, Aït-Nouri, and Robinson at the back. Salah, Luis Diaz, Murphy, Munetsi, and Cliver in midfield, and Cunha and Isak up top.
Okay, rightio. I mean, that's the thing. What I'm looking at there is Munetsi. That's the headline for me in here. I've not seen him in any team, but you've gone for that Wolves triple up there. So, and you've got Cliver in there as well. That's interesting. I've seen him in a lot of benches as well. And also, obviously Cunha, Aït-Nouri. You've got a lot of familiar faces there. But yeah, so I mean, issues there. Let's go with Munetsi first. I mean, obviously you need to be a bit different, but
yeah, that's the thinking. Yeah.
But so what else is it about? I mean, we're going to have a look at some stats for Wolves in a minute. But what else is it about him? It's just not being different for different sake?
No, well, he was a Pereira signing, and he's been starting games. He's been getting good minutes recently. He plays in one of those two attacking midfield spots behind the centre forward. So he naturally gets into good positions. He's got a bit of threat on him. He hasn't started that often with Cunha. I think at United at the weekend, he started alongside Cunha, and then you had Strand Larsen leading the line. We haven't got too much to go on with that dynamic, but he looks a threat. He pops up in some dangerous positions. And I think I like him as a bit of a differential. And I'd like double Wolves attack for this fixture against Leicester. I mean, Leicester kept it reasonable against Liverpool, didn't they? But they conceded a lot of big chances. I mean, Salah could have got a huge haul in that game. So I like to target this. And I just think he looks a threat. And why not go for something a little bit different for that one?
Right, other issues there is sort of in defence. I mean, it's good to target the Newcastle defence playing Ipswich. Good to target, obviously, Aït-Nouri. Wolves defence playing Leicester, and Robinson, or that could be Sessegnon if he's fit, which we think he is, or Leno, facing Southampton. And Liverpool as well against Tottenham as well. But it's all getting the pieces there. So Alexander-Arnold came back off the bench. What do you think of his chances of getting minutes?
I think it's a tricky call, that one. And I think the left back spot is as well with Robertson and Tsimikas. I think, but the one you would want is Trent. But at the moment, and it's Wednesday, I'm deeming that too risky, because Bradley could quite easily start that much and then come off at 60, and Trent could get half an hour. It's just very difficult to call, and I don't really want to go in with that risk. So Alisson is a way of covering that back line against the Spurs side, who are going to be in Europa League action next week. They're going to focus on that game for sure. So that was the thinking behind Alisson.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at a bit about Wolves as well. So we'll look at those figures there. So this is the best Wolves assets all season. So I currently have Cunha, Strand Larsen, and Aït-Nouri. But I am going off Strand Larsen because I looked at his sort of last 4 matches. And he's been legendary, scoring all the time. But that's without Cunha, really. So I looked in with Cunha, and he wasn't as effective. So I thought we'd look at just all season, really, who are the best ones. So I saw this by minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty. They're not huge. I mean, it's Wolves, so they haven't been great in every match. But Sarabia is top here. Now, he's not someone I've seen in any team, so... but he could be. I mean, he got on the score sheet last time out as well. But it's really low. I mean, 9 shots inside the box all season. That says to me he is a shot in the dark one to go for.
Yeah, he's just not nailed in that current setup, isn't
No.
he? He's actually been doing well off the bench, Joe. Like you said, I think he's got 2 goals and an assist in the last three. But
Yeah.
because he's not secure, I think that the favoured setup right now is Munetsi and Cunha behind Strand Larsen.
Yeah.
So that kind of rules him out for me. But it is a bit of a shame. I think he takes penalties, doesn't he? Or
Yeah.
whether he'll take it over Cunha, I'm not sure he
I
might do.
doubt it. Top name is yeah. Cunha's top here. This is why he's in. I say everyone's team. I hate it when content creators say that. He's in everyone's team. He is in most free hit drafts I have seen. Put it that way. He's on 158 points. The only times he doesn't play or score is because he's headbutted someone or lamped someone and been suspended forever. But his minutes per expected goal involvement, non-penalty, every 188 minutes. But he's had 46 shots inside the box. He is nailed on start most matches when he's not on the naughty step. 37 shots on target, created 47 chances, 14 goals, 5 assists. That's 19 attacking returns. He's currently only in 1 in 10 teams. That will shoot up, especially amongst engaged managers. I mean, I think the issue with Cunha is captaincy. I mean, as FPL General referred to it, he's my Monday captain. But by Friday, it's always Salah. And he knows me. But Cunha is a good captain, though, I think.
Yeah, he's a talisman and he's just so good for bonus, isn't he? If he gets a return, might just be an assist, but very likely he'll get bonus like he did at Old Trafford. So, he's absolutely locked in for me. I don't think I can look past Salah this week because of the rotation, which we'll probably see at Spurs.
Okay.
But as a second option, him or Isak would be right up there.
Okay, Minetsi's next. He's your man here. So I hadn't even considered him. I know nothing about him.
Okay.
He's only scored once. He's got 2 assists, 12 shots inside the box. I mean, is he new in to the team?
He came in January,
Okay,
and he was. I think I'm right in saying he was originally signed as more of a kind of a box-to-box player, but he's actually been used further forward. And of course, if you've got that kind of back 3 or back 5 setup for Wolves, and then you've got João Gomez and Andre in central midfield, and Munetz is then ahead of them, he's going to have loads of license to get forward, especially in this type of matchup. Between the editorial team, myself and Neil and Mark, we've been talking about him for a while, and we like him, and maybe this is the opportunity to go for what is like a proper differential.
Okay, while you've been talking there, I've just put a thing up on screen, which is the position map of Wolves' last match against Manchester United, which has got some numbers of the players there. So number 9 there, furthest forward, that's Strand Larsen. Just behind him, you've got number 5, that's Munetsi, and you've got Cunha at number 10. So they're sort of equal weighting there in terms of positioning. Number 3, you can see how forward Nori is there. I think he's the other one to consider there. So that just shows the sort of setup here that you've just been talking about. I thought that'd be quite useful for people there. So I mean, we've got Strand Larsen here, 123 points, 12 goals, 2 assists. But as I said, he is getting returns when Cunha's on the pitch. But I just looked at his recent scores, and it was like 6 points, 9 points, double digit, that kind of thing. But it was when Cunha wasn't there. Well, as soon as Cunha was there, it was like 1s and 2s. And that's what happened last time out as well. So that sort of put me off a little bit.
I mean, a striker at home against Leicester, he could still do very well.
I'm going to regret taking him out. I'm sure of it because he
but,
was.
There might be something in that though. When you've got Cunha playing in that role instead of Bellegarde, who had been playing there, Cunha just demands the ball. He's looking to do more himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
And maybe the setup before that, when I think it was Munetsi and Bellegarde behind Strand Larsen, that maybe played to his strengths more. But I still don't think he's a bad pick for that. And he might end up in my team by the end of the week. But the rank that I'm in, I think I'm like 35 points off top 100k, which is what I want to get into, and maybe that's a roll of the dice I'm kind of comfortable with, or a risk I'm comfortable with taking this weekend.
Okay, right, I'll just put the team back up again just to help people out again, and just go over that again. It's Becker, Allison in goal, Livramento, Nori, Robinson, Salah as the captain, Luis Diaz, Murphy, Munetsi, Cliver, Cunha, and Isak. Just finally about Murphy as well. Some people might be going for Harvey Barnes. And maybe go for Murphy as well. But Murphy, I would imagine, is pretty nailed on start. He hasn't really got any competition, because when Gordon comes on or Barnes moves over to the right, it just seems to be like a temporary in-game fix.
Well, that's what happened at the weekend, Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gordon came on for Murphy after what,
Yeah.
64 minutes,
Okay.
but it was Barnes shifted over to the right,
Hmm.
and they didn't really, nothing really happened after that point for
Mm.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a risk because you've got three players competing for two
Yeah.
positions, but we probably want a right winger for this match because Ipswich have got Leif Davis suspended.
Yeah.
The backup left back, Connor
Mm.
Townsend, he missed the weekend through
Mm.
injury. So they actually ended up shifting Jacob Greaves, the centre back, to left back against
Okay.
Arsenal. So if we can nail that Newcastle right winger,
Okay.
that could be the position to go for.
Okay.
And I think Newcastle weren't great at the weekend, but they've had a week break leading up to this match, and I think Murphy's been in really good form. It would feel harsh to drop him, I think,
Yeah.
given his output and the way he's been playing really for quite a while now.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I put in my team because
Mm.
it cost me dearly not having him in my team up to now, so I might as well get him in. And
Yeah.
and I'll sort of well, I wouldn't like it if he blanks, but I wouldn't mind it because I can just think, yeah, maybe I was right not getting him in. Although I was
I
completely
mean,
wrong, obviously.
yeah, you'd expect Newcastle to do well. I mean, Ipswich,
Yeah.
they away from home, they can be difficult to break. I mean, I watched them at Villa Park
Mm.
not too long ago, and
Yeah.
they can set up and frustrate you a
Mm.
little bit, but they don't offer much in attack. And I suppose an early goal is key in that
Okay.
game. If Isak or Murphy
Mm.
will get something early doors, then the floodgates could open. But yeah, I think I do want double Newcastle attack for that, rather than going for like a Pope and a Livramento or something like that.
Okay, and just before we go, just put the fixtures up on the screen to just show because you've got you looked at your sort of current game week, and there's players like Asensio you might move on. So
Yeah.
there are definitely gaps where you could fill other players in. And just looking at the fixtures from game week 34 to 38, and this doesn't even include any potential double game weeks during this time because of the FA Cup. But what we do know, Nottingham Forest have great fixtures. Brentford, Crystal Palace, Leicester, West Ham and Chelsea. Ipswich are good fixtures, so too Leicester. But we're probably not so interested in their assets. They're the team to beat, really. Brentford, great fixtures. They got that Nottingham Forest game in 34, then Manchester United, Ipswich, Fulham, and they finished the season at Wolves. It's a good run of fixtures. Wolves themselves, they've got Leicester at home that we've just been talking about. That's why we've been focused on Wolves. Got Man City away, could still score. And then they got Brighton, Crystal Palace, Brentford. That's a great final end to the season. West Ham fixtures pretty good, and they finish with Ipswich away. Meanwhile, Everton have strong fixtures. They've got Ipswich and Southampton at home. That's about some of the best fixtures you can hope for there. Fulham have Southampton, but then it gets a bit mixed with Aston Villa and Man City in the mix as well. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Aston Villa, which we've loaded up with. They've got
Yeah.
bad fixtures. Man City are low down, but that's because they got a blank next. But they do have Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth and Fulham. So Man City, I feel personally, I'm going to be keeping hold of them. But Arsenal could get rid of, and Crystal Palace, yeah, I would get rid of them. Is that a similar feeling with you?
Yeah, I mean, for Villa, I mean, at least we've had a bit of a blow last night, but at least we've still got plenty to play for and going
Yeah.
for the Champions League. But I think looking at the fixtures, Mbomo in 35 looks like a really obvious transfer in, doesn't he,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
one of those midfield spots. I've just been writing up Undiai for the differentials for Everton as
Okay.
well, because I don't even mind the Chelsea game this week, but after that, you got Ipswich and Southampton at
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
which
Definitely.
look really good. But yeah, I think definite transition away from Palace.
Yeah.
Let's see how they look later, but they've really underwhelmed, haven't they, over the
They're
past
definitely.
couple of game weeks?
Yeah.
So yeah, that Eze, Sarr could be for
Yeah.
the chopping
I've
block.
got Sarr, Mateta, and Henderson. I'll keep Henderson.
Yeah,
He's fine, but yeah, the other two. Plenty of options there. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck with the free hit. Let's hope this chip's better than the last chip. And I say that for you
let's
and
hope
me
so. Yeah,
because my
yeah,
chip was pretty bad. And so I think the free hit should propel us up the rankings where we deserve to be.
hopefully.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your time. Take care. See you soon.
Thanks, Joe.